We wanted to talk about, I guess, some of the good things and bad things we've heard
You
about
take the good, you take the bad, the
with the
facts of
game.
life.
um, so I guess some of the good things and bad things we've heard about the game since like people have gotten their hands on it. I guess should we start with the bad or good first?
Let's always get the bad out of the way so we can end the video on a positive note to build
Yeah,
hype.
I agree. I agree. Okay. So we got a little bit of a list here. Okay, people have gotten their hands on the game and have like played through like Towers of Time. They've done the Crypt and things like that. And
Review
it's
copies
not
have been
sounding
out for
great.
about a month, so the game's been gold for a while. So what Rich is saying is like people have review copies of the game, have been playing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds.
Yeah, so it's like it's relatively official. So basically, people have gotten their hands on the Towers of Time and the Crypt mode and stuff, and it's a lot like Injustice 2, where it's very grindy. You have to like the Crypt is randomized, so everyone's Crypt will be different. I did hear you can like reset it or something, but I mean that doesn't really do much good. And like, of course, like, you know, there's a lot of silly minor things like augments and consumables and crap that you can get from the Crypt instead of just like concept art, costumes, fatalities, and brutalities. And so like you might not be knowing what you're getting and like get stuff you really cannot give two craps about.
Similarly with Injustice.
So that's not great.
Injustice 2, I got a bunch
Yes.
of crap gear that I didn't care about or was way over leveled for my character at the time, and you couldn't really do anything with. So it's going to be a lot of grinding to get that stuff.
Yeah, and I am relieved that they're not tying special moves to to unlock this time because a lot of us really wanted the Staff of Grace and for Robin and Injustice 2, and unfortunately a lot of people didn't get it. I mean, granted now we have fatalities and brutalities stuck behind that. So if there's a fatality, like say if you really like, I don't know, Devora's second fatality, you have to, you might not get that till like months after playing the game. And I think there are other ways to get them as well, but you have to get like I think certain kind of crystals, and of course they're harder to get, and of course I think you can use real money to get them.
Yep.
So they're like source crystals in Injustice 2, basically.
Yeah, they're called chrono crystals, and they do cost real money. You can grind them in the game, but they always say that, and then it's always a super grind.
They make it really brutal to get it. And then oh, and apparently some of the Towers of Time, like, the difficulty is very artificially hard, just like Injustice 2. So that's also very discouraging. Which kind of just, encourages people to just kind of spam or kind of cheese their way through instead of just playing the game normally. So all that stuff is very disheartening. And it's also kind of messed up that they kind of weren't upfront about it. Like it's literally a couple days before the game come out. We're finding out from people that aren't even officially, I guess, supposed to be talking about it yet. So that sucks.
Yeah, because the embargo's not up until Monday.
Yeah. Which is like, oh, I wonder if maybe that's why they kind of had the embargo that late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else.
Well, I mean, there's the whole factor of like certain comments were said making like derogatorily towards Mortal Kombat fans that I didn't appreciate. That had to do with costume sets and stuff like that. We won't get too much into it, but I just wish that there was the option of having that variety in the game and letting us choose for ourselves. After all, it is a mature-rated game. It's not like we're playing a teen game. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit as well.
Yeah, see, like, all right, here's the thing with me. Like, all right, gun to my head, I usually prefer, when I'm playing as a female character, I usually do think the more clothed outfits are cooler looking. But it's like, I don't see the damn problem with just having variety options, with having one that's more, armored and badass, and one that's a little more revealing and sexual, I guess to a degree.
I mean, it's not even overtly about the sexuality of it either. It's like, there's been people that have come out and said, like, well, there's also fighters that have come out and say that, like, if you look at any fighter or anything that causes that much agility in a sport, for example, the UFC, the girls are all wearing sports bras and short shorts, and the guys are all wearing like tight spandexy pants with no shirts. You want the most mobility you can get out of your body when you're fighting, and running in with like a full set of armor is not always practical, which is why all the guys have like no shirts on in the game. So it's just a little bit of a it's a little bit of an insulting thing. Just to it's not no reason to not play the game, and hopefully they'll change it by adding some kind of gear, and we'll probably get more gear sets in the future as well, so hopefully that's rectified. But it's just the way it was presented as like we're making the game more mature comment kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, and like here's the thing, like I don't agree with the people that are saying I'm not going to play the game if there's not revealing outfits. But I also don't agree with the people saying that I'm not going to play the game because everything's too sexualized and revealing. I think both sides are wrong, but I just think that to just have variety, why not just have both kinds of outfits?
Let's not like talk about the fact that like you're pulling people's literal skulls connected to their spines out of someone's back, but we're gonna worry about cleavage. It's ridiculous.
No. Jesus Christ.
It's only in America.
and it's like a lot of older MK games, the girls usually had revealing outfits, so it's like that's part of the series history, really.
I mean, and a lot of those outfits were based off of like actual ninja gi. They were based off of dogis. They're based off of wrestling spandex. Like a lot of that stuff is actually fighting stuff too. Like you're not going to be able to be very fast and avoid damage if like you're covered from head to toe, especially with the way that females' bone structure and like anatomy is. Like their bones aren't as dense as males, and like their muscles tend to have less strings or strands, so they're not as taut. It makes it a lot harder to move when you're wearing heavier clothes. I mean, obviously realism is not what we're going for in this game, being that you can like, puke acid on somebody, and Bo Raicho is like farting fire on someone's face. You know what I mean? I
mean, I always am able to spawn a spear out of thin air and then impale someone with it and then roll and then throw them off of the spear. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
Oh, every morning.
I think it's very realistic.
Every morning when I get my coffee, I'm sitting on the couch and I just say, "Get over here!" and I throw a spear at my coffee cup and it comes right to me. It's amazing.
I know, right?
Every time I go to use the bathroom, I run and I fly at the door and go.
Oh, so ridiculous.
So anyway, moving on.
Okay, so then also, I guess, in line with kind of the outfits and stuff, well, do you guys kind of remember how in Injustice 2, a lot of the gear looked very samey for each character?
I was annoyed that, with that.
Yeah, well, that kind of is happening again, but this time it's with the skins for the outfits. Apparently, a lot of people have said a lot of the alternate outfits, I mean, we know there's alternate colors, and that's fine, but a lot of the actual alternate outfits look very similar. Like, there's maybe 2 or 3 like very varied outfits per character, but then there's a lot of other outfits that are the same thing but just with like maybe minimal differences, like maybe extra shoulder pads or something, which is a little disappointing as well. I mean, I guess maybe we sort of saw it coming, but it is again kind of discouraging.
I mean, the gear system might help better with that in this game. I've seen some leaks of like Shao Kahn in like full battle armor, and like some of the stuff looks like really awesome.
Oh yeah, like there are actual varied outfits, but it's like it's just misleading, I guess. Like it makes it seem like there's like a ton of outfits that'll be like more varied, like I think maybe outfits from older games and stuff, and then it's just it's the
best way to correlate this is like the argument that we had with Soul Calibur 6 and the character creator. It's an artificial
kind of actually. Yeah.
It's an artificial booster. It gives you the impression that there's a lot to work with while limiting you even more than you were before. So like in Soul Calibur, we had different races, quote unquote, but all they were is like the same race copy and pasted with preset fixed like accessories that you couldn't like adjust. Like the humans with the horns and stuff. So I think it's a way of like artificially inflating it to make it seem like it's a lot more boisterous than it actually is. Do you agree with that?
Agreed. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think if there's any more bad things. Oh, well, I'm not going to really talk about this much. I have heard some people say that they're not crazy about the story and the structure of it, but that's incredibly subjective.
It's super subjective.
So we're not even going to really mention that.
Yeah.
For all we know, me and Mark may wind up like loving the story, and maybe there's a bunch of characters I do like to play as that are playable in it. But
I mean,
that's just something I heard.
To us, that's usually one of the most important factors anyways. We care more about the story than anything overall. Well, at least for me, because like I play the stories over and over and over again. So
yeah,
I'm looking at you, Street
that's usually
Fighter
a complaint
5.
I have with the stories. That's usually a complaint I have with the stories, is because like usually the characters I really like, I never get to play as in them. But I do generally like them and enjoy them, even so.
That'll lead me into another bad thing too. I'm sorry. Like the next, I have to touch on this based on the story. It's like seeing the trailers with like robotic Sector and Sector and Cyrax and
Cyrax.
Why are we always getting these unplayable, fully developed characters that have no like release in sight? It's the same thing with like in Mortal Kombat X, how we had Rain and Fujin was in that too, right? It was Rain and Fujin. And...
well, the ones you could fight like Cyrax and Sector, it was Rain, Sindel, Baraka, and then characters that just made cameos, kind of like what Shiva's doing now, was Fujin, Serena, Li Mei, Frost, Bo Raicho. Oh, and Tanya you could also fight, but she was added later as DLC.
Well, I mean, yeah, and Shiva's, that's the case with her too. Shiva's going to be DLC. So
yeah, she's going to be DLC.
Even if she is just playing a cameo supported role, that gives more reason to why Sector and Cyrax and characters like them aren't playable, that have fully like bolstered movesets. That's a little irritating.
I honestly just can't think of a variation moveset individually for Cyrax, Sector, and Rain, because Baraka and Sindel were non-playable fighters in MKX, and they're coming to this game, but Rain isn't. And now Cyrax and Sector were part of Triborg and MKX, and now they're just relegated to separate fighting characters. I think that's the reason. It sucks ass, but it's a little weird that it happens again. Yeah, the same characters,
especially with characters I like. I mean, like,
I know I like Cyrax, I like Sector, and Rain is my favorite character after Noob, so it sucks.
Yeah. And no uncaged noob does not mean what you think it means. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some good. We've got a lot of negative out of the way, and this video is dragging on a bit. So let's just talk about a few good things, and how about we do 2 points each, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Well, one of the good things is that while the skins kind of get repetitive, I think I heard a lot of the gear pieces actually are very varied. Admittedly, I know some of them have I think pairs of two have similar molds, apparently, similar models, but the textures are completely different. And I kind of think for things like that, it's kind of good enough.
Yeah, especially when you can combine.
I think that's a plus.
When you can combine the gear with the alternates, then you're gonna. Maybe that's why they made them so simplistic, because they know they're gonna make them your own anyway.
Maybe. So yeah, that's one little good thing. Also, people found out that there's different announcers you can get. I know hooking it up to the mobile game gets you a Chronica announcer, and I know you can unlock a Shao Kahn announcer, a Johnny Cage one, and a Raiden one. I'm personally really hyped about the Shao Kahn one, because it'll be kind of like the old games where he was the announcer. And Chronica being the announcer is pretty cool too, I think. Yeah, excellent.
I just like when he yells, "You suck."
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
Can we have Charles Barkley from Barkley Shut Up and Jam as an announcer? Make it the damn ball.
So yeah, some guest announcers. I do hope they add Kari Tagawa as Shang Tsung as one of the announcers, but we'll see. So then I guess
that's another good point for me though too, is that they actually had Shang Tsung from the movie. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. I mean, I'm not super pumped for Shang Tsung, but I think he does deserve to come back, and I think that's really cool. They got Kari Tagawa to actually be him in this game. I just hope he's the actual movie look, because I like that way better than the look he has in the game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one bonus one is I'm mostly happy with how Frost is turning out. I haven't fully looked at how she played and stuff, but I've seen pictures and heard things, and I'm overall impressed. I'm going to talk about that in another video myself, though.
That sounds good.
Oh, and I guess the last thing is, we kind of just talked about it, but me and Mark we're pretty happy overall with the DLC.
I am as well. Yeah.
The selection. I think this is the most solid lineup of DLC characters since Mortal Kombat 9. There's only a couple I don't like, but it's nothing, it's nothing deal breaking. I mean, Spawn and Fujin were the main ones I wanted. They're both coming. Sindel's cool. Shang is fine. I'm pretty happy with Nightwolf. I think Terminator and Ash are fine guest characters. Not my top choices, but they're fine.
Ash is going to be good though, because with the variation system, if you're allowed to vary his moves, which there's no reason why you shouldn't. He's got a lot at his disposal. Like there's like the Necronomicon that he uses. There's the shotgun. There is the spear. There is the chainsaw. And if you're going to like,
he had a spear.
Well, there's one point in Evil Dead where he actually goes back in time. And
the third movie.
Yeah,
okay,
remember?
okay.
And he doesn't have the chainsaw, or it runs out of gas or something.
That's right.
And he
gets
he also gets like a mechanical mecha arm, which is really cool. So there's like a lot going on with that character that I can actually do. So I'm actually pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I think he'll be really cool.
And like we said,
and I'm also happy, because even if he wasn't someone I was dying for, I have like a couple friends, like my friend Skullstar Productions, who basically wanted him like me and Mark wanted Spawn. So I guess I'm happy for him that he got, I guess, his most wanted guest character. He's a huge Bruce Campbell fan, so that's really cool. I think it's an overall solid. I mean, I hope there's more, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm satisfied. I do, and again, I do hope this isn't the order, because Fujin being second to last and not in the first pack, I think is absolute bullcrap.
I'm not gonna argue too much about that, because at least we got Spawn and Fujin. So
yeah, it's whatever.
It's much better than not getting them, but that looks like we won't be getting those characters.
I would just rather Fujin and Spawn come when the iron is still hot, for both myself and for other people. Because I just don't want Fujin to not be well received just because he kind of came later down the line and be like, oh, well, okay, I guess people don't like him. Like, that would really suck, but whatever. I guess as long as I get him.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. But, I mean, with each DLC release that comes out anyway, it's probably going to make me pick up the game even more. The only thing that can actually cause me fatigue with this is depending on how the towers are set up. That's really...
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really
Because that's what made me stop playing Injustice 2. And even me and you hardly even play that anymore together, so...
Yeah, and I loved Injustice 2. I think it was just a little too overwhelming with that stuff.
It was.
Just a little too much.
I mean, I played Injustice 1 way more, because I had it on PS3 and then on PS4, but, I don't know, there were certain things about it, like the roster, like they took out Doomsday, which really irritated me.
I was actually really happy with the roster. The main thing that pissed me off was not having Spawn, which I guess...
Yeah, because
is now going to be remedied.
Like we're saying, Spawn has been rumored for like a long time. Like he was rumored for Soul Calibur 6, but then Tom McFarlane said that he's a mature character and he wants him in like he can't do what he wants with the character, which meant that he was going to put him in either Injustice or Mortal Kombat. Then Injustice 2 came out and came and went, and we saw that he wasn't doing that. So obviously this was the last choice that he was going to have.
Oh, also, by the way, Terminator was actually a character on the same poll, I'm pretty sure at least, as Spawn for Injustice 2. So I guess he's another character that was an idea for Injustice 2, but didn't work out. So
I wonder if they'll get Arnold to actually voice him, if they'll do like a sound alike.
I don't know. I think he's maybe a little too big for this game, unfortunately. But I'd like to be wrong. I personally hope I'll be more excited for Terminator if some of his moves or the custom moves are kind of T-1000 inspired, because while I like Terminator, I think T-1000 lends itself to a fighting game way more with all the stuff it could do. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you could give him different weapon variations, or you could even give him like a skeletal custom output, or the flamethrowers or the Gatling guns. I actually kind of figured he would just look like the...
I just figured he would kind of look like the metal skeleton the whole time, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You think so? I think he might actually be the Shades leather jacket Terminator, and like maybe his alternate's going to be the skeleton.
Maybe
because it's a little boring from the
maybe
outset.
He'll, like,
just
battle
to have
damage or something.
That's he most likely. They're pretty good with that stuff usually, but I don't see them fully just having the skeleton, because that's a little boring, to be honest. Because he just looks like a silver skeleton, but unless they actually combine it with weapons and stuff like that, but we'll see. Maybe
it's a shame. I always kind of liked how the female Terminator kind of looked better, like the how like the metal part looked. She looked really cool, but
yeah,
from T3.
Yeah.
But
we should.
But yeah, no, that is a plus. We are pretty happy with the DLC. The selection, at least. I'm a little worried about the order, but this overall selection I'm happy about.
Cheva's Bikini.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
So yeah,
in conclusion,
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. In conclusion,
So okay, so in conclusion, I know there's a lot of crappy stuff we recently heard of, mixed in with some good stuff. I don't think the game is going to be bad because of this. However, I do kind of think that maybe we should kind of give NetherRealm NetherRealm Studios some feedback on this stuff, and maybe, well, I don't say everyone you have to do this. Maybe like don't play that stuff too much, and maybe they'll see visually that people aren't digging it, and they'll try to fix this stuff. I am a little worried because Injustice 2 they didn't fix it much, but I feel like with this game they are listening a lot more, so it's worth a shot, in my opinion.
yeah, I completely agree with that. So thank you guys for sitting through this almost 40-minute video. If you got to the end in the comment section down below of this or Rich's video, I would like to put Cheva's Bikini. If you put Cheva's Bikini, then
I'm just gonna say that.
then we know that you got to the end. First comment that says it will get pinned on my video. And I want to thank you guys again. Thank you, Rich, for being on my channel for this. It was a pleasure as always.
No problem.
Guys, don't forget to check out Rich at Ragiroth, and you'll find a link to his channel in my description box below. And if you're watching Rich's video, hi, I'm Mark, and you will find a link to my channel and Rich's said video as well. So we're going to end it here, guys, and that's going to be the video for today. Once again, thank you. And as always, guys, stay powered up.
And keep being awesome.
Peace.